We don't have to do it all today, just one project at a time.
Sorry. Alright guys, so these are the bunks that I was talking about that need to go on this trailer. They go on those brackets. Basically they'll sit something along the lines that it's going to be up on the actual rack, and this will end on a bit of an angle. The idea of these having that curve on the end here is that that overhangs the back of the trailer, and when you come up with the nose of the boat, you line it up with your center roller, and these two side, there's one on each side, these two side bunks help push it to the center, so the boat just drives straight on. It's nice and easy to get on and off. This is the only thing with these, you've got to drill your own holes, drill your holes in the actual bunks. So I'm going to show you how I do that. Now, I managed to get the measurement of the boat that I needed between the keel and the chine, which is the uppermost side of your boat. If you're interested, shout out a comment and I can let you know how I did that. But I won't include it at the moment. It was, but it was 7 inches. And the other thing is, the reason sometimes I think I say inches and centimeters, my tape measures that I use, it just depends what lines up better. So for me, I know it's probably a bit confusing, but I find that if I can get a dead on 7 inches, then I might as well use that rather than 20 whatever 0.5, using a 0.5 of a mil. If I can get it on a line that is exactly an inch, use inches. Whatever works, as long as it's the right length. So I now know that I need, from the trailer base here, these bunks, the tippy top of the bunk has to be 7 inches. So that, when it's there, needs to be up there, which will be done by the bracket. But the first measurements we need to work out is how far over it's going to be. Now, I want to place it exactly where the other one was because it lined up perfect. So that's why I left these brackets on, as you can see. So the reason that they left them was that reason, because they are sitting in the perfect spot already on the trailer when the boat was on it. So the measurement for here is from, how I'm going to measure this too is I want to measure it from the inside to the inside, so the inside of the original trailer metal. Because I've put the new piece on the outside, it's a different width and they may not be identical widths on each side. So I think it's best to go, okay, so we've got exactly 40 mil. There's 40 mil between there and there. The other side should be the same, you would hope. And it is. Okay, so 40 mil. So now I know my bracket from that side to there needs to be 40 mil, which means from here to here it's got to be 40 mil. Which may present a problem. Oh, no, that won't present a problem. Okay. Yeah. No, that will not present a problem at all. The reason that won't cause, I thought it might cause an issue because of the back corner here, but I just realised it won't, because the back bracket for the bunk's actually going to be on the outside of the trailer. And the only reason for that is it gives me the furthest length to capture this. So how those work, just same as those other ones there. I will place one, it'll be welded on here at 40 mil. Then this has a bolt that goes through and then they're bolted on, and then it'll be like so, obviously like that. So yeah, so now we know it's got to be 40 mil. What I will do, so we don't forget, I'm going to mark it up. So, all right, what'd you do with it now? Where did I put that pencil? There it is. I dropped it. Okay, so 40 mil. So it's 40 there. Now, to get this one, it will be 80 mil because this is exactly 40 mil wide. So that's very handy. So the other measurement I can do if we want is the measurement of this to get it exactly right. So what we can do, measure this, drop it, so our bracket is 20 mil. so I can put another mark. So I know now that's my area. Same with this one. Drew off the thing. Go. Now we know. 20 mil, 20 mil. So now I've done that, I know where, we know exactly where it needs to go on the trailer. The next thing is we're going to mark where we're going to put our bolt holes. So we want it, I don't want a whole heap hanging off the end, but I don't want none hanging off. I want it probably there where it starts to bend down, so it sits flush is where we want it to sit. So I'm going to put that right next to the two marks that we made. The next measurement, so this is where I want those bunks to sit, exactly. So the next measure I'm going to grab is this, 45, let's check that one, let's go, that's 40. 5. So what I need to know with this is what the center is. So the center of this beam is right there, it actually lines up with the 1 inch. So it's a 2-inch beam. So the center of it is at 1 inch. So what I will do next, that'd probably be easier if I had a texter, but I don't. So I'm just going to lay this on its side now. And I actually want to mark, I'm going to mark the plastic with so that there is my metal, same width as the beam, so that's is my 40 mil 2 inches. So now I'm gonna, where the hole's got to go on these is this center rib, so you can see there's like 3 ribs the same size and the 2 skinnier ones. It's the center one you want to do. So on that center one, I'm going to measure in there, and my 1 inch mark's right in the center there. So now I know when I drill my hole, we want it there. And I'll do the same on this end. The other thing with your set squares actually has measurements as well. So you can always use that if it lines up. Oop. Okay, one inch right in there. So now I know, again, right there's where we've got to drill that hole. Excuse me. Okay, so now we need to drill a hole through there. So what I do need those, where do I put that bracket? Just got to find my drill bit that matches the hole so that I can drill a hole in that. You're not going to need a massively super sturdy, strong drill bit. Like, you're not going to need a heavy duty drill bit for that. That stuff's pretty soft. It should drill quite easily. If you've got some good drill bits, it should work. So a handy way to get your drill bit sizing that you need, make sure you can see it here. See the hole? I can just get my drill bit, make sure it's the same. It's gonna, that one's a tiny bit small because I've got some play in it. So if I drill that hole, that's not going to give me enough play to fit a bolt through. So I'll go a little bit bigger. Okay, so found one that is slightly bigger than that hole, and that will work perfectly. A drill also helps. Again, also just side note, I'm no expert. I'm not a machinist or anything. I'm not sponsored by Milwaukee anyway. I just like the Milwaukee drill for what I use. But what some people probably don't realise, I know I get a question sometimes, that there is different speeds and settings on your drill. Drills aren't just squeeze and pull and go. They are designed to be adjusted and used according on what you're using. So on the top of a lot of drills here, you'll have basically a clutch selection. Now, if you've got this drill in the little one looks like a hammer, that's actually a hammer drill mode. That's for drilling concrete and through bricks and stuff. If you click it back one more, you'll see that one is like a little drill bit. That's for drilling holes. That's what you should have it on when you're drilling a hole. The reason you need it on that is because most drills these days will actually have a clutch slip like lockout, and what it does is it stops while you're drilling. If something catches, it will stop that drill from spinning around and breaking your wrist. And I can tell you from my own experience of drilling steel one day with not having that set, it is not it hurts a lot. I was off work for 6 months because of it. So don't ever do it. It will literally catch and twist your arm around faster than you can blink. So you really need to look at your settings. And then the other numbers you've got on it, if you, as you come back down, there your numbers say 16 and it goes all the way down. So what you can do is if you're drilling, that's for more if you're putting screws in. So if you're drilling a screw into something softer sort of wood, turn the number down, and what it'll do is it'll drill. Once it reaches a certain point, it's going to start going brrr. That's, you're tight enough. So it stops you over tightening your screws and going through the woodwork. And the other switch on them is top one is just your speed. So 1, and if you put it in there, like putting the car in the second gear, it'll go faster. And then obviously the my drill, it's just because it's a manual chuck, automatic chuck, sorry. I can hold it and drill it out. Drop the drill bit in, tighten it up. So what I can do though is with this one, you can actually grab it and hand tighten a bit more. So that noise, what I'll show you is if you go, you set your clutch all the way down to 2. If I grab that, hear that? It won't go any harder. If I start to bring it up on the 16, I can't hold it. That's going to put way more force on it. The other thing is, now if I go into the drilling setting, I can't hold it enough to show you, but if you could get it to hold, so that would do the same thing and wouldn't let it go. And then the hammer, that actually will hammer back and forth while it's drilling. So yeah, just look, again, I'm no expert, but that's just a little thing, little trick, little tip for people that don't understand how drills work. So now you do. Again, something important that you probably, if you're going to be working with drills, I would definitely learn it. Could save you from breaking a wrist. So the other thing I'm going to do, slide it off, because where I've got a drill, you don't want to drill into it. I'm going to clamp this down. You can do this on a workbench, obviously. I haven't built one yet. We're going to build one day, and I'll take you along for the ride. But I'm going to just clamp it down to my trailer workbench because I've already got it here. So why not? I don't have to go crazy. I'm not going to clamp it to the point it's going to break it or hurt, damage it. But that will just stop it slipping around on me while I'm drilling my hole. So another thing when you're drilling is I see some people sometimes they'll drill like this. Say you're trying to drill a hole and they've got a hand like that. That's dangerous. You should never drill like that because you have no strength behind your drill. What you should really be focusing on is if you're going to be drilling a hole through something, especially metal or something solid, when you get your drill going, you should try and get your hand. What I like to do is if I'm drilling, say you're drilling into a wall or something, anything, any metal, put the drill in, and then notice how I keep my arm. So when you're holding it, your arm's nice and straight. And you're going to push with the other hand, you can put a bit of force on it. But the idea is you want to try and put a bit of weight into what you're doing because it's going to help it. Don't put too much in because it will do the same thing, it'll catch. But you can't drill like this. You've got no strength behind you, and that's how you hurt yourself. If the drill tries to catch or move, you're going to hurt yourself. So you can drill like this, lock it, sometimes you lock it against your chest, or if you've got a big fat stomach like mine, lock it against your fat stomach. But hold it in tight and hold it. Don't be afraid of the drill. It's not going to hurt you, it's not going to bite. Because if you hold it out here, then it will bite. So, and try and be comfortable when you're drilling too. So the best thing to have here would be a hole punch, but I don't have one. So yeah, just to start it. But again, this is pretty soft stuff. So what you can do too is just give it like that, bit of twist, gives you a bit of starting hole. And what I'm going to do is stand up because I want to be able to get a bit of force on it, like I said. But still, start off a little bit slow to get it to go, and then Right through. Beautiful. Nice little hole right there. Now this one, same again. Make sure it drills in forward guard. See, and I didn't go at 100 miles an hour there. I just did enough speed as it needed. You don't want to go too fast either. Our holes. So now, our bracket will be able to go on. The holes will line up like so, and the bolt will go through. And then we've got to put, but first we need to set heights. So, the bolt, and with these two, you should be able to see there's a curve. These are meant to lean in to the keel of the boat because of the shape of the hull. Now, when you're finished, it has a nylock nut. So when you're done, when it's like in a set position, that's when you lock it down. For now, I'm just going to lock it finger tight. Now I can get my height measurement right. Now, all right, what did you do to tape measure this time? Look, he put it back. Miracle. Now, 7 inches was that measurement. So that 7 inches is from the top of this to the base of the trailer, which means that this bunk, what I'm going to do is, we've got to grind again. I need to cut the old bracket off. I don't know if you see it there. Move this out of your way. So the old bracket's still there. As I said, I left it there for my reference point, but now I need it out of the way. So we're going to cut them off first, and we'll come back to that. I'm going to put my tape measure up behind me. Remind me when I'm looking for it in about 2 minutes. Okay, guys, ears, eyes on, and let's do some grinding again. Eyes, where are the eyes? Lost the eyes. I know my shed is a bit dingy and not a lot of room, a lot of space to move in, but I'm working with what I got, so I can't help it. But anyway, ears and eyes on, let's get into it.
This can't be it now. Whoa, the fire just never ends. They detonate inside my head, tearing up my generation. Whoa, they fed us all a lie, buried truths until they die, leaving nothing but a salutation. Forget that we had empathy, clarity. Now every truth is drowned beneath the sea of vanity. Do you feel proud up in your tower built on fear and doubt? The sky is falling.
Well, that was fun.
Time for heaven. 6, 7. I'm leaving. Demons negotiate.
Now, there we go. Whew. Hard work, this grinding stuff. Now, my keen-eyed viewers will notice something that I did when I was grinding. My mark gone. So now I need to redo it. Do you remember what my measurements were? Well, I asked you to keep track of these things. 40. That's not going to work, people. It's not going to work. I do have an old bracket sitting here. Probably space that up a bit. Make it a bit easier. Oh. Again, I've only got tiny ones of these. I need to get some bigger ones. This might work just for now. Just well, I don't need it exact just yet. I just want it to sit so I can get a rule tape measure on it. Now, what I can do is still check the measurements because I can just sit that there. We can go like that. Okay, that's still perfect. Quite happy with that. The next thing we need to know is we need that square. Loosen that off. I should be able to do this on my set square, possibly. I don't know if you can see that there, but that's pretty good. That's pretty square right there. So, before I ruin it, I reckon we get a weld on it, and that way it won't go anywhere. Just double. Yep. Okay, yep. We're going to whack a little tack on there, so that way we don't have to worry about it falling off on us or make it come unlined. Who'd have thought putting some bunks on a trailer would be so much work? Turn it on helps too. Usually you need to turn the welder on.
Kissing the ring in slow motion, digital lipstick, a shade corrosive. Oil lane kicking the frog, never noticed. How many times did we question the motive? Until the roles reversed, we became the gears we turned. We didn't use the thing we learned. We got too close to the ones and O's. We lost control. You didn't wanna believe. You didn't wanna believe. You didn't wanna believe.
Alright, that came out quite good. Now, to line up the back bunk. Remind me that I've turned that welder off. Alright, look, now there's an issue. You see what happens here? This one here, the hole needs to be bigger and on an angle to get this through. So, that will need to be drilled out a bit more. Oh, here's a drill I prepared earlier. So all I did, I just drilled that a bit out on more of an angle. Just try and get a bit of an angle because the way it goes on the bracket. Hopefully that works. Can do a little bit more if I need to. There we go. Bit of adjustment, fits fine. Yeah, that section of your boat, the center of your boat called the keel, that is the strongest part of your hull. Fiberglass, aluminium, doesn't matter. That is where you want all the weight on the trailer, should be on those center rollers, because anywhere else is a weak point on the trailer. If you've got all your weight on a bunk on the side, you'll wear out your aluminium like that. And if it's fiberglass, forget about it, you'll crack it, it'll be screwed. Okay, same again. Where is our clamp? Here's our little baby clamp. Okay, marks are still there. This is going to be like way off at the moment, but I have a see who reinforced this thing. Why did I do that? Now I can't get a clamp in there. It's all right. We shall adapt and overcome. That's the saying of the day, all right? Adapt and overcome. It's something that my trying to remember where I got that from actually. Oh, that now I know. So adapt and over. I know. I think Bear Grylls used to say improvise, adapt and overcome, or something like that. I got that from the fire brigade. That's what we used to get taught as during training as a firefighter. For any situation, you adapt and overcome. There's no such thing as a situation you can't get out of, or you can't control. The situation you can't control. There's no such thing as a situation you can't get out of, or you can't make better. Especially in the fire brigade. Put our bunk back on properly. Turn that earth stuff off before I forget. I probably won't leave this on permanently yet, just because got to cut it and painting. But that is quite good. I'm happy with it. I like that. I'm very happy with that. I think this boat is not going to know what's hit. If it's a 1960s model boat, I think it's probably going to be the nicest trailer it's ever sat on. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Nice and straight. Yeah. Very nice. Now we get to do it all over again. That other side should be a little easier in that we know the measurements already. So I'm not having to measure and find out measurements. I know the measurement and we just got to do it. So now we've got this one on, and the other thing I want to do now is I'm going to make my measurements for the holes identical on this one, so that way the bunk on there and there line up front to back. Which means I need to get that measurement. It is exactly 435 mil. You see, they got away from me. Okay. 435 mil. Gives us our center hole. I can check it here if we want to get real technical, but yeah. So that's that one at 435. Mark that. That's where I need to drill my hole. Wait, hey, hey! I'm also going to do, so I've got a little flush right there and I can see my mark. Just going to put the bunk marks on there like I did with the other one. Okay, so now, I mean, look, I could probably lay it like that and try and get it exact, but the thing is, it's still, like, as you can see, I can't get it to sit. You can't actually get it to sit perfect because of the bend in it. So I'd rather just measure it and be accurate, as accurate as it can be. The good thing is, as I said, with this, you do have a bit of play. You can play with your drill hole, and you can have a little bit of movement in it. They're not crucial, but the straighter and the no, do not drill through your new bunk that you've just fitted, Jared. That's better. I don't need to clamp. I'm not going to clamp this one because it's against the other one. It's not going to go anywhere. All right, now, who remembers the measurements? Told you there'll be an exam. I'll be asking. Who wants to guess? No, they're sitting. You're just sitting there thinking, "I see if Jared remembers." He's not going to remember that. But guess what? I don't. Yes, I do. Sorry, I do. I did forget for a second there. So there you go. It is 40 mil. Guys, you're going to fail the exam if you go forgetting these measurements. Okay, so that's that one. This one was, do you remember? It's a bit more. This one's 80. Why is it 80? Because the metal's a bit thicker. You see this? Tape measure. Right there. Who's got bets on how long before Jared goes, where's the tape measure? I know what people are saying. There's going to be someone in there watching me saying, Jared, why don't you move that wood? The reason I haven't moved that wood is because I do not have much room in this shed. So I'm working with what I got. Now remember the magic number? 7 inches. Oh no! Why didn't you hold it for me? Okay. Lots of measuring and adjusting. So much fun. What, you got their welding helmet on? And gloves? Let's go. That we have essentially a boat trailer. The only other thing I need to do, they need to be locked down, obviously, tightened. They're always going to stay a bit loose. That's good because, like I said, a bit of movement for the boat. We just need to fix up these split pins. I'll show you how we do them while we're here because they don't need to come back off. Basically, ooh, comfy bunk. Better turn and make sure you can see me. There you go. Can you see me? No, because I'm not in front of the camera. Okay, ooh, should be able to see you now. Right, split pins, simple. We grab one end, one falls out, problem. Just sit it back in. So usually you can sort of start them a bit by hand. Get to sit right. Spread it a bit. Pliers on it. And that's pretty much it. You just pull. So now once it's open, we're going to go like that. I'm just going to spread it around. Just going to spread it back around on itself. So, pliers that way. This side. You can grab the other side. I'm just grabbing that to hold it still. Round. Whoop. Or not. Round. And come across the pliers. That's it. So, yeah, that one's locked on. The other one fell up, which is a mate. Only things left to do with this trailer now is wheels, obviously. Kind of needs them. I do have a new winch for the trailer that we'll be putting on it. New winch, wheels, paint, obviously, because it's not painted yet. We'll be priming it with the rust-proof primer, then painting it. You'll have to wait and see for the next episode when I paint it. You can see what colour we're going to do it. Bit of a surprise, I guess, or whatever. Yeah, so it's coming along. So I've been sort of, I think, took a little bit to get this episode done. Bloody hell. Mind me. Took a little bit to get this episode done just because of the weather, but also because in the background I've been talking with and working with a local place in town where I live. Sorry, that's called Safe Haven. They basically provide a free mental health service and also provide help to those in need, anyone in need. Means, so, you know, someone that could be homeless or domestic abuse that they're getting away from or anything like that. So basically, they just do nothing but help people. That's all they do. So what I'm doing is I'm just organising with them a way to assist them in what they do. So what I plan to do is not, like I said, not this trailer, only because this trailer is my own and it's a family trailer. So this one was just for entertainment purposes for you guys and just get to see what I'm doing on it and just come on for the ride. The next trailer I have to do is a little one that's for a little boat that I think you've probably seen a short for the little boat. That's the next one in the series that needs to be done. It will be sold and a portion of the proceeds are going to charity. As I said, it will be going to assist Safe Haven as well as Top Blokes Foundation. I've got links to them on the page, on the description as well. I'll drop some links. Check them out. They're doing amazing work with the young blokes of Australia and just assisting them become better men as they get older. I think that's a very important thing. And it's just helping them, the young blokes, with their mental health as well. So yeah, that'll be going towards that and Safe Haven. The plan is to get it all fixed up on YouTube so everybody can see and watch the video and follow along. And then we will be putting it up for sale. And I'll be putting it up for sale. And it will be, profits will be donated to Safe Haven and Top Blokes Foundation. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. The boat and the trailer are actually donated to me from a lovely family here in town I live in called Parks. They don't want to be named, so that's not an issue at all. But yeah, not a lovely local family that donated the boat. So yeah, it will be going to help a worthy cause. So that's on there. Yeah, so I'm rambling on a bit now, so I'm sure you're sick of listening to me. But yeah, cool. So that's about it for the trailer till the next one.
We don't have to do it all today, just one project at a time.